Sakshi means witness. And I think the authentic movement practice is really about that. It's about refining the witness, your own inner witness. So the difference between witnessing and observing is observing has almost like a scientific quality about it. We're very dispassionate. We're trying to be quite accurate about what we're seeing. But witnessing is really coming from a space of love. I think that idea of seeing someone, I think is the greatest act of service, right? So Sakshi means witness. And what we're really doing is as we witness someone, is we're giving them space to be who they are. Well, the collective is made of many individuals, right? Sometimes we are in alignment with the collective. Sometimes we are separate. The way to well-being is to be comfortable in our skin and in our process, and then from there to expand it to the collective. So, first of all, in our own individual bodies and our own psyche, having that level of comfort, which itself is rare, and then slowly learning to expand it to how do you cultivate relationships that are supportive, family structures that are supportive, systems that are supportive. Very often, especially initially in our process, it's two separate uh, paths because we do live in patriarchy, which accepts only a small part of who we are, both. For all people, right? Not just for women, but for all people, it's only a small part that is accepted within patriarchy. So often finding ourselves and creating space for us means we are in conflict with the collective. But as we learn to do that, and as we learn to hold the tension of our own individual process that happens within the collective, we slowly start creating a collective or an environment around that is supportive of us. So we start making those choices. This time the theme is very new. It's also something that I'm kind of exploring. My professional journey very closely mirrors my personal work. And I'm looking at the theme of holding that paradox between being the one, the special one, and learning to be one of many, which is really what we do in authentic movement. But I think for me, this theme really emerges from my own explorations around desire, and it's been a decade-long process. I think it very closely mirrors the relationship of Krishna and Radha. For me, Radha really personifies desire and longing, where she was a married woman and she was so in love with Krishna, and that longing for Krishna. He comes and it's beautiful, but he's also not just with her, he's with each of the gopis, and he has, and he himself is married. It's really considered that moment of when spirit meets matter. It's that moment of bliss, that moment of union, which is very real. But it also means holding the space that I'm also one of many. And I think that is the relationship we have with the spiritual. Because everybody has access to the spirit, right? Everybody, it doesn't matter how much religion you've studied or what meditation practices you've done. I think everybody has equal opportunity to have that access to spirit, and it works really in mysterious ways. We may do a lot of spiritual practice to make us ready, to allow us to receive, but we don't have control over that meeting. And it's momentary, it's transitory, it's a moment of bliss, and then we have to let go.